I will be the next king and nothing will change that because it's my birthright.
The Throne of Blood Part 3. The palace of Opopo had fallen silent once more. The fifth king had died on the 21st day of his reign, and fear gripped the hearts of everyone in the kingdom. No longer did the villagers speak freely. Mothers whispered hurriedly to their husbands, urging them to avoid any conversation about the throne. Meetings at the town hall became dangerous, for even attending one could be seen as tempting fate. Some women went as far as drugging their husbands to sleep on the day of gatherings, just to prevent them from being implicated by the curse. Yet the elders knew that a kingdom could not remain without a ruler forever. They summoned the villagers once again, this time not to choose a man, but to ask if anyone, man or woman, would volunteer to sit on their cursed throne. Murmurs spread through the crowd. Who could be foolish enough to accept a seat that had claimed 5 kings in less than a year? Fear hung heavy in the air, thick as the morning fog. After long hesitation, a voice rose above the whispers. It was Adis, the young scribe who had previously brought forth the prophecy from the ancient scroll. The crowd fell silent, eyes wide with shock. Could a woman truly take the throne? Some elders suggested it openly. Perhaps the spirits and gods had grown tired of men, perhaps the throne itself desired a queen, one whose heart might be purer, whose intentions might not be tainted by greed and ambition. With a mixture of courage and calm, Adi stepped forward. She told the villagers, her voice steady despite the weight of history pressing upon her shoulders. I will take the throne. I will rule, not with fear, not with cruelty, but with justice and wisdom. Let the spirits judge if my heart is true. The elders debated briefly but could find no reason to refuse her. If not a man, then a woman must try. Adis was crowned that very day, her coronation hastily carried out in the town hall. The crown was placed upon her head, the scepter in her hand, and the villagers cheered with hope and fear intertwined. Everything she could possibly need was provided: servants, wealth, a palace prepared for her rule, even rituals to protect her from the throne's curse. For a time, it seemed as if Opopo had finally found peace. Adis ruled with intelligence and kindness. Villagers began to hope that the curse had been broken, perhaps the throne had truly desired a woman all along. Mothers unclenched their hands, husbands returned to the town hall, and life seemed to breathe again in the kingdom. But the throne is not merciful, and destiny rarely waits for comfort. On the 14th day of her reign, without warning, Adi slept, and never woke up. No illness, no violence, no enemy, just silence. Her body lay still in the palace, the crown upon her head now heavy with sorrow and death. The village was struck with disbelief and terror. 3 kings, 1 man, and now a woman, all claimed by the throne within weeks of ascending. Whispers of curses, bloodlines, and angry spirits spread faster than the wind. Fear returned stronger than before, and the people of Opopo realized that the throne would not be tamed easily. The elders gathered once again, more broken and suspicious than ever, knowing that another decision would soon fall upon them, one that could either save the kingdom or destroy it entirely. But who among them, living or dead, would dare see the throne of blood Part 4? The kingdom of Opopo lay in a heavy shadow of grief and fear. 4 kings and 1 queen had all been claimed by the throne in less than a single year, and the people moved like ghosts through their own village. Mothers whispered to their children, men avoided any talk of succession, and even the elders, once confident in their knowledge of governance, now trembled at the thought of choosing a new ruler. The memory of Adis, the brave girl who dared to wear the crown, haunted every street. She had stepped forward with courage, believing that the throne desired a queen. For 14 days, she ruled with intelligence, fairness, and patience, providing for the people and keeping the village in relative peace. But on the 15th day, silence returned to the palace. Adis had slept and never awakened. The elders convened once more, their voices trembling, their eyes filled with suspicion and dread. They argued and debated. Perhaps the throne did not want a ruler, perhaps it was cursed, Or perhaps the land itself was the source of their suffering. Villagers whispered dark stories of God's anger and ancestral wrath. Each elder began to suspect the others. Unity had dissolved completely. After long discussion, one of the remaining elders stepped forward, a man named Elder Chijok, claiming that someone must dare to try once more. He spoke to the people. Perhaps the throne does not demand weakness, but courage. Perhaps it does not only curse the crown, but the place itself. I will sit upon the throne, but I will do so knowing that my life is not guaranteed. I will face whatever spirits await, and I will rule my people, even for a moment, in peace. Despite the warnings, Chijok was crowned king. The villagers watched, fear clenching their hearts. He ruled for 21 days, and on the morning of the 22nd, he too was found lifeless. The people of Opopo despaired. The throne had claimed a seventh ruler, and now it became clear that no ordinary king, man or woman, could survive its curse. Some of the elders began to speculate that perhaps the throne itself was not the only problem. Maybe the palace, built atop ancient, sacred grounds, carried the anger of the gods. In desperation, Chijok, before his coronation, had suggested a radical plan. Bring forth all the gold, all the wealth in the kingdom. Let us build a new place, a new palace. Perhaps a new throne, forged with care and respect, will appease whatever spirit haunts us. The problem may not be me, not the crown, but the land itself. Yet even with these preparations, even with all the rituals, the throne's curse could not be avoided. One by one, the 7 rulers, 4 kings, 2 queens, and now the 7th, were claimed by it, and the kingdom realized the terrible truth: the throne of Opopo had become an abomination. 7 lives snatched in a single year. Fear became law, and the people collectively decided they would live without a king. For months, the village endured a leaderless state. The elders continued to guide quietly, and the people survived, but the memory of the throne's wrath lingered like a shadow over every home. Until one morning, a man named Chief Zosa, a wise but daring elder, awoke and looked across the village. He said quietly to himself, "If there is a crown to wear, then there must be a head to which that crown will fit. And the crown of Opopo. I, Zosa the Fearless, shall wear it." His words carried the weight of determination and recklessness. The villagers watched in silence, unsure whether to admire or fear him. But for the first time in months, the thought of a ruler, of someone willing to face the throne's curse, stirred hope and dread in equal measure. The air of Opopo was tense, thick with the unspoken question: could Zosa survive where 7 others had failed? Or would the throne of blood claim yet another soul? To be continued.